All right, so here's my supplemental to that other YouTube video that we did. It was the presentation. So I'm just going to do it this way so you can see me clicking on everything. And sometimes it's easier to learn by just watching somebody do it, right? So here's the Environmental Justice STEM Leadership Academy landing page here. You can see that I'm logged in. This is my username sitting up over here. I've got home, gallery, and all sort of fun stuff over there. So to copy what we did on the first one, I'm going to go to Map. And so Map's going to bring me over to a brand new untitled map. It usually gives me just a generic screen here. I can zoom in to where I'd like to play around. So we're going to come down to the coast. So we're in Mississippi. I'm just using the mouse scroll wheel, scrolling in and out. I can also left click and it'll grab it and move it around, and I can right click and it will rotate it whichever direction I want. So hooray. I'm going to leave this north oriented, and you can tell you've got a little pointer over here about what direction you're facing. You can even reset it so that it goes back to north. Isn't that cool? So looking right here, I'm just going to look at all of the places. So we can add layers now if we want to, but I like to figure out my zoom. So I'm going to zoom into our campus. And so there's Long Beach. So the way that I defined it is there's Long Beach and there's Pass Christian. And so we're kind of here in the middle as I slide around looking for Jeff Davis. And then we're going to sit right over here. Nicholson, there's Catholic Church, and yay, there's campus. That's where I am. Here's the science building. It's a newer building, so it's put right there. So I want to map around the science building is where I want to play around. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change, now that I'm zoomed in how close I want to be, I'm going to figure out what base map that I want. Lots of options. I can do night, street view, ooh, or I can do navigation, I can do topographic, I can do just straight up imagery, so that's kind of cool, so I can see everything that's out there. I can do a hybrid imagery, and that has labels on it as well, and where they think the streets are and stuff. I can switch to terrain, which is not going to be a whole bunch of features here as close as we are, but let's just go back to imagery, and we can play around with that X out here. Now, just looking at this aerial image, there's no data. I haven't put any data on it, so I'm going to come back here and I'm going to add information. So one of the easiest things for me to do, we're just going to create a sketch. So I create a sketch layer. That's going to pop up. I can X out of this so I can see everything. And I've got difference between points. I can do lines. You can see the title right there is default, so see it changes point, line, polygon, hooray, hurrah. I can also add text. So when I add text right there, and I'll show you how to add text really quick. So I can title this whatever I want, but then the content of the text. So science. I'm going to just put science there, and I'm going to make it purple and big and hooray. And then when I move that around, I can now drop that word wherever I want to drop that word. So I'm going to drop that word here. And I can drop it all over the place if I wanted to. But that's going to be good enough for me. So I'm going to switch over to a point. And now I can drop in any type of marker that I want. So I can do a vector point marker, or I can do various markers. I can change the color, transparency, size. I can rotate it around. You can do lots of fun stuff with that. So I can change my symbol. So look, we've got all of these options of things that exist in there. So you know, already. So let's just play with animals this time because it's just different. So I am going to put, let's see, do we have something fun? Let's look for something fun. We're going to put rabbits. Hot diggity. So I'm going to drop a bunch of rabbits in my field. Boink, doink, 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 doink. Bunnies, 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 bunnies. We have lots of rabbits everywhere. So one of the things you got to be careful about when you make your map is that, you know, if you're using a color of your item, it's hard to see it. So look, if I change my base map to something clear, boop, there's all my little rabbits I've dropped everywhere. There's the word that I've dropped. I can come in and I can add a line, and it can be just a really simple basic line, and every time I click, I'm making a point. Clickety click, 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 click. Up and around, and if I want to turn a corner, I do a bunch of clicks, and if I want it to be straight lines, I make straight line clicks. And then when I'm done, I'm just going to double click this little bad boy. I could change the width, so look at that, make it really fat. Now I made it really fat. I can also make it purple, because why not purple? But I could choose any color in the universe that I want. So there's my options here for RGB values, or I can slide it around and change its color, or I can make it cool and blue and green, and then it changes it over there and I've got it. I can also drop in polygons, and so I can do polygons by clicking the shape that I want. So if I'm going to go over there and I'm going to make there's a nice right angle, so it's going to tell me if I've got a right angle. So let's just make these all nice and right angled. So look at that. I made a nice little box thing there. I can change that color too. And I made that one green. I can change its outline to purple, because that seems to be my theme for right now. And there you go. So look at that. I've got a map, and I can change my base map however I want. If I want to save this little bad boy, I just simply come over to save, and it will give me the options where I'm going to save it. So I can save it to wherever. So I'm going to add a title, Play 2. And then I can add tags to it if I want to find it. So saving my crazy map. So my map has been saved. Now if I just simply back out to the main screen again, there's my map viewer. I can come over here to my content. And there in my content is Play 2. And if I wanted to share this with people, I just simply go, I've checked on it, and I go to share. And then I can put it in the organization. I can go to edit that group, and I can say, I'm just going to share that with IP. Apply it, save it, then off it goes. I'm not going to worry about doing that. Another really quick thing that you can do while I'm here is here's arc scene. So not going to do mapping on this one just because it's kind of complicated, but this is a cool three-dimensional view of the Earth, and it's going to show you something just super fast on this. When it first pops up, it wants you to pick what kind of screen do you want. So let's just go to topographic as an example. And it's going to load up their topographic information for the planet Earth. Works similar to the other map. I can zoom in and zoom out. Look at nice little stars out here. So I'm going to zoom into our coast again. I can also click up here and search for it. Maybe I'll do that real quick. So we'll just go Biloxi. And you'll see that I've got options there. I'm going to go, let's go to Biloxi, Mississippi, and it's going to bring me into Biloxi, Mississippi. So I can zoom in even further here, and so I'll show you something that's kind of cool about this is I can grab with my left click, and I'm moving things around. With my right click, see, I can rotate the map here. With my center click, I can fix zoom in and out. But if I take the right click and hold, I can go to my three-dimensional view, and look, I can move in. Those are the casinos right there. See how they're all three-dimensional? And so we can look at those. If anybody's mapped anything three-dimensionally, we can look at that. We swing down here, and we can come into the city of Gulfport. The city of Gulfport's got some taller buildings, and look, we can actually go in there and look at all of them. So just some kind of cool stuff there, so we can kind of navigate around and see what we want to see. So there's our side angle of everything out over here. And so it looks like if we come off this direction, we've got some trees that have been placed over here. So it looks like some people have actually added in some landscaping. This is the CB base here. And we can add in data to this. I mean, if you really play around with this. So the power of what you can map is up to your own imagination. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. And that's kind of what I wanted to show you. So you can see, I can talk about it on one screen, or I can show you here. Either way works, whatever works for you.